Hi, welcome back to the Knitter's Closet. I'm your host, Melissa. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as the Knitter's Closet. This is episode 22. Welcome to all our new subscribers and welcome back to all our current subscribers. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded. It's been about 3 weeks. After I recorded my last podcast, I had a pretty nasty bout with anxiety. I don't know if I've mentioned on the podcast before, but I do suffer from anxiety, and normally it is very well controlled. It is been well under control for a while with just diet and exercise and making sure I take care of myself and kind of doing some breathing exercises when I know it's coming. But sometimes, like 2 weeks ago, I get overwhelmed at work or sometimes at home, and in this particular case it was a very overwhelming week at work, and it had a happy ending. It did have a very happy ending, so that I will never ever have to deal with this situation again. However, it did take quite a toll on me mentally, and at the end of the day I was just a mess. So for about a week I was very out of sorts and I just did not podcast. And so 2 weeks of just not being me, and it was pretty hard. My husband has been very supportive. My daughter's been very supportive as well. So in the meantime, I did do a lot of knitting. I did do a lot of purchasing too. I don't have a ton of finished objects. I have two. Part of my anxiety is that I just don't want to finish anything. But I start everything. I get a bad case of startitis when I have anxiety. So you'll notice I'm in a slightly different location than I normally am. I'm actually using the bench that I normally sit on for a winter Christmas scene miniature kit that I am building. I'll show you a little. I am building this cute little Christmas scene, and if you guys are watching Vlogmas, you'll probably see this every once in a while. Just a little bit of me building it. So, but it's a very detailed little process. This is part of one of my works in progress, by the way, but I can't really show you all the stuff. But these are like the directions. It's very, very detailed little project. You build everything, even the dozens and dozens of little books. There's literally like 2 dozen of these little books that you have to cut out and then fold. Then there's like a little roll, basket of wrapping paper, a little plant. So you guys will see all this on Vlogmas. I'll do like a little sped up version of when I make it sometimes. It won't be an everyday thing because I'm not working on it every day, but I have started a few little bits and bobs. So, alright, what to start with? Let's start with finished objects, per normal. I only have 2. I have a hat. This is the Pearl Soho hat. It's a free pattern on their website. I think it's like the family look at my Ravelry and look at my current. It is knit with the hedgehog fibers. Hedgehog fibers Down by the River. That was the yarn that I had gotten from, and you're thinking, well, Melissa, that doesn't look anything like it. I know. So this is the hedgehog fibers, and then I got the really floofy ball of Ching Surrey alpaca that I held double with it. So this is actually not a lace weight yarn. Let me pull off one of the ends here so you can kind of see. It's a little bit thicker. I think they consider this a heavy fingering weight. And I apologize, I don't know the colorway. I don't have it, I don't have the tag anymore. But as you can see, it's a little bit thicker than like your mohair. Like, for example, this is mohair. And you can see how very thin it is compared to the Ching fibers, Surrey alpaca. So I held these two double, and I basically got a worsted weight with it. So I did the Pearl Soho. Let me see if it's in my... The classic cuffed hat from Pearl Soho, and that is a free pattern on their website. And of course, as predicted, oh, this is a little bunny pom-pom that I got off of AliExpress. I bought like a huge, I can't reach them from here. I bought like four bags of pom-poms. It was like $20 for all of them. So anyway, so my daughter stole this immediately. She's claimed it for herself. And I'm kind of okay with that. I love it. I do. It'll be mine. She may actually end up claiming this one instead. We'll see. What I'm doing with the remainder of the Down by the River hedgehog fibers is I am knitting a sockhead hat. Just plain simple. That's the 2x2 rib. I've just started. I don't do as long a 2x2 rib as she calls for in the pattern. I think she calls for like 4 inches. I think I did somewhere around 2 maybe 2.5. So I've already started the stockinette section. And that's what I'm knitting a lot of. Yeah, I'm knitting like almost all hats lately. It's just what I'm in the mood for. My husband asked me if I had enough hats yet, and I said no, because I've been wearing them at work. My office is freezing basically every day of the year, even in the summer. It's because my office is located in next to what we call a computer room, and it's basically where all of the servers are and equipment for like our registers and computers and all that stuff, the music system, everything. Because I work for the corporate level of a big box retailer, but I work at a store location. I have a little teeny tiny office. It's about 8 feet by 7 feet. I measured the other day because I was getting ready to hang up lights. And yeah, it's super tiny, so, but it's mine and I love it, but it is super cold because they keep that computer room super, super cold, and they blow a fan in there to kind of circulate the air, because otherwise it gets really stagnant in there, and that fan blows all that cold air into my office. So it could be the hottest day of the year and my office will be absolutely freezing. So I wear a hat every day at the office to keep my head warm, especially now that my hair is super short. So I don't want to wear like the same 3 hats, so I've been making a whole bunch of them, as you will see from my works in progress. Plus Nora loves hats, and she wants a hat in every rainbow, or color, every color of the rainbow now too. So I don't know if you guys follow Yarn Hoarder on Instagram, Amber Linderman on Ravelry, but she bought a knitting machine, a circular knitting machine. She bought the Addie king size one. I decided to follow in her footsteps. I did not buy the Addie king size circular circular machine though, because that is a $200 machine, and at the moment all of my funds are going to Christmas, so I may upgrade later, but right now I just bought the loops and thread version from Michaels, and so I have made a hat. This is not the only hat I have made. I made another one, but I can't find it. But it's exactly the same as this one, only it doesn't have the rolled cuff. I did figure out how to do the rolled cuff on this one, or the folded brim on this one. So it's super long. It's super wonky because it's... This machine says DK weight, which is what I used, but I think it stretches it quite a bit. And so I may try a lighter worsted weight yarn next time. I don't know, because it says to not use more than worsted weight, or a light worsted, and I don't know. So anyway, so I'm still figuring out sizing, because I look at the tube and I think that's not big enough for a hat, but clearly it is, because this is a pretty large hat for even a kid. These are only kid size hats, because the needle count is only 40 needles. I mean, you can see where it's like super stretched, like the ribbing is all stretched and everything, so it's a little wonky, but it'll work for a charity hat for now. So a child needs me. Hold on, I will be right back. And I'm back. So yeah, the 2 hats, that's all I finished. I do have a lot of works in progress. I am currently working on my sockhead hat, and I have gotten quite a bit of work done on my, let's not drop stitches, on my cardigan. Isn't that so pretty, you guys? Oh, I just love this cardigan so far. This is the Le Pouf cardi from Hedgehog Fibers. It is free on their website. And I have 1 sleeve almost done. So I am on Sleeve Island. I am getting very close to finishing this sleeve. And then it will be done. It is a little bit of a cropped cardigan. And that's okay. I don't need it to be super long. I do need it to just be warm though. So, and that is what it is. Because it's basically a nice DK weight sweater, because you're holding 2 strands of yarn together at any given time. And this is knit in my West Yorkshire Spinners. Am I getting that name right? Let me double check. Oh, my box of leftovers over here has all my tags in it. Western Sky Knits. I know that the colors are Tarnished, Motherlode, Salted Sea, and a few others I've mentioned several times on podcasts prior. Hey, can you turn that off, please? Thank you.
Sorry.
Nora's watching her iPad next to me.
As you can see.
Your headphones are right there in that pile next to my mirror. In front of the mirror.
Anyways, I turned it down.
Okay, turn the volume down. I found the Surrey alpaca is the Surrey alpaca is cuttlefish. I found the tag for that. I'm so professional and organized today. Yay! I'll put the show notes across for the colors on the Le Pouf. I am loving this, by the way. I love the gradient. It's super subtle. It's super pretty. I'm loving my color choices. And I did not buy these yarns specifically for this. I bought these yarns up at the Knot House last year, early this year. I can't remember. Yeah, they're just gorgeous together. They're absolutely gorgeous together. All 5 skeins are from Western Sky Knits. It goes from really light to darker. And then I've got another one that'll be added on to it later too. So I'm super excited about that. And then I have Hedgehog Fibers came out with a polar version of the Le Pouf. And so I'm super excited about that, because I already have... They're not up here, they're all the way up there, so I can't show you. I already have 5 skeins of yarn picked out for that, and that's my hobbledehoy which is now unfortunately, sadly, out of business. Hobbledehoy and Marigold Jen both retired earlier this year to pursue other opportunities, so I'm very happy for them, but I am very sad because it means I don't get to enjoy their fiber anymore. Once mine is gone, it's gone. Sad, but that's what it is. Dyers come and dyers go, and we learn new dyers, and we learn about different vendors and stuff like that, so I'm sure their cubby space will be filled with another new dyer soon. Let's see, what do I want to talk about next? Oh, works in progress. I have some socks. The last time I showed you guys these socks, they were just down here at my stitch marker, so I've done quite a bit since you've seen them. I've already turned the heels, and I am starting on the ribbing. This is Mustache Yarns, a very Hobbit Christmas, and her yarns come in 2 identical 50-gram skeins so that you start on the exact stripe so they match perfectly. Look at that. Aren't those just gorgeous? And I've already started on the next color repeat, which you can't really tell because it started back here, but it starts with the little bit of gold on the toe and pink, and then I started with the gold and the pink on the heel, so I've already started a repeat. I'm well into the second repeat of the colorway, but I just adore it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So those are being worked on, and I still have I don't think I've touched these since I've last podcast, to be honest, so I apologize if these don't look like they've moved anywhere on. These are my, hold on, I'm all tangled. Oh, I put a progress keeper in, so I guess I did mark a little bit of progress on these since I've knit on them. My little fudge round shows where I was, so I've only gotten a couple rows. Isn't this fudge round absolutely stinking adorable? Oh, and I apologize, I don't remember the maker. I want to say it was Gnome. I'll find the link, and I will make sure that I put the name. I'll find my receipt, and I'll make sure I put the name across the screen when I find it. This is the Earth Unique Sock. It's a numbered colorway, so I don't know the number. And it's a gradient, and again, they come in 2 50-gram skeins. I'm hoping I get to some of that green, but I doubt it. I'd have to make these socks super long because my feet are super tiny. I only wear a size 6 women's, so I have super tiny feet. So I have 2 socks in progress. Both are knit on my 2.25 signature sock needles, right? 2.25? Yes, 2.25 signature sock needles, which are my babies. And one of my pairs of signature socks is MIA right now. Which is why I only have 2 socks on the needles instead of 3. Let's see, what else do I have in progress? Oh, I have another hat in progress. I am making not 1 but 2 everyday slouchy beanies currently. These are by Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn, and I have 2 on the needles that I have started since you've last seen me. This one is still knitting the brim. So I've knit the brim, I've done the purl row, and now I'm knitting the second part of the brim to match this side. It is done with a provisional cast on, and then I will flip, dropping stitches, I will flip these wrong sides together basically and pick up the stitches around and then knit until it is nice and slouchy and then decrease. It is a very well written pattern. She recently had it up for grabs for the Wishes Granted, the reversed Wishes Granted, so you could grab it for free for a while. I had paid for it when it first came out. These are new purchases. This is Magpie Fibers Moonstone in her swanky sock. Moonstone is the colorway, And then this is just some black Rowan Kid Silk Haze. And of course they're held together to create this beautiful dark fabric. I decided I needed a dark colored neutral hat. I do have my other everyday slouchy beanie, which is my super favorite one. I wear that one all the time. But it is a little on the browner side of neutrals, so I wanted something that was a little on the blacker side of neutrals. So yeah. And I have this gorgeous Toft pom-pom that is going on it. It's alpaca. And yeah, I wish you guys had like touch-o vision, because this is just the softest thing ever. Super soft. So then, my last works in progress is another everyday slouchy beanie. And this one is holiday themed. So I had this idea, because of the way Tristan does her everyday slouchy, there's a very defined brim, and I was like, well, you know what? She's already doing it really fuzzy because of the mohair held together. I'm like, I could totally do a red and white one, and it would be sort of a Santa-inspired hat. So that's what I did. So this is not anywhere close to done, because I do want it to be super slouchy. It's not quite there yet. I don't want it to be like Santa hat slouchy, but I do want it to be slouchy. So I'm probably going to need another inch on this before I even start the decreases. But it is getting there. I can't tell if you can see that or not. Mess up my hair. So this is, obviously I've already done the brim. I've already folded up and have changed colors. It's all the same base color. The base color is Juniper Moon Farm Harriet Fine. It is baby alpaca blended with nylon. And so it is 75% alpaca, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 461 yards, and the colorway is Villa Blanca. So it's basically a white. And then what I did was I held together a... Hey Nora, could you toss me that white ball of fluff right there?
Yes.
Yep, just toss it over. Oh. Can you try again? Oh!
That was me.
That was Nora. Sorry, guys. So I held together for the brim, white on white, and then I have switched to the red on white. So that is what is giving that marled red look. I'm really loving it. I can't wait to get this finished so I can wear it for the holiday season. This will be my office hat for the rest of the season. This is both of the floofy balls are the Rowan Kid Silk Haze. It's 25 grams of mohair, approximately 230 yards. It is 70% mohair, 30% silk, and it is floofy and soft. So that is what I am working on. And then I have a couple of needle adjacent projects. So, sorry, I'm itching a little. I got, oh, you guys, I don't know if you can see, I got a nose piercing, tiny little stud last week, and then I got a teeny tiny, equally teeny tiny. It looks off center when I show it like this, but I promise you when I turn it around this way it is centered. But and it's backwards to you guys, but it is a teeny tiny wand motion for the ridiculous spell from Harry Potter, and it's sort of a physical affirmation for me to remind me that my scary thoughts can be made silly. So I did that after my bout of a week-long anxiety. It is actually probably closer to 2 weeks of anxiety. So, but yeah. So that's you know, that's what you do when you have 2 weeks of an anxiety attack. You go and get your nose pierced and a tattoo. But you'd be surprised at how amazingly better I felt after getting both of them done. So I have some needle adjacent projects. As soon as I clear up the needles for my sockhead hat, actually I probably have needles available, but I'm trying not to have too many hats on the needles. My daughter picked out this. No, you don't need to adjust your screens. Those are both eye-searingly bright. She found this pom-pom at the yarn store. It is the Toft UK pom-pom. Actually, I have to sew. It came a little undone. I have to sew it back together a little bit. She was a little rough with it. It's a snap-on pom-pom, which is very handy. She saw this pom-pom at the yarn store when we went knitting last weekend and decided she absolutely had to have it. It, again, is super, super soft. You guys should really have philo vision. But it is a really bright neon-y green, and then she picked out this pretty bright neon green yarn, and I don't know if you can see the sparkles. There we go. You can see the sparkles a little bit. It is this yarn. This is exclusive to my yarn store. It is the Pretty Nitty that Melissa dyes exclusively for the shop. It is their luster fingering weight base. It is 90% superwash merino, 10% lurex. It's 410 yards on 100 grams, and the color is Color Me Chartreuse. So this will be a hat for Nora. I am probably going to pull from both ends and knit a DK weight hat so that I use more of the yarn up in one go, because I don't see myself using this for anything of mine. But she wanted a hat, and that is what she's gonna get. Nora loves mommy's hand knit hats, so I can't argue that. Oh, I did forget that I got a Toft pom-pom, another floofy one, for the Santa hat. So there will be a pom on that one, because I can't make a hat without a pom. I always need poms.
Anyways, the Santa hat has a pom-pom. That's
Yes.
why it needs a pom-pom.
That is why it needs a pom-pom. And then I do have 3 needle adjacent projects that I'm going to be working on for the advent calendars. So I'll be getting my needles ready for those today. And what I'm going to be knitting is the Adventure Cowl by Amba O'Brien, the Lacy Advent Cowl by Crystal T Knits, and last but not least, the Habitation Throw by Curious Handmade. So my Habitation Throw is going to be done out of the Canon Hand Dye Advent, because it is based on Nocturne Alley. So I'm super excited about that one. And then, is it based on a Nocturne Alley or Diagon Alley? Yeah, Nocturne Alley. And then my Lacy Cowl is going to be knit, or my Adventurer Cowl, pardon me, is going to be knit out of my Rising Tide Fiber Company. And then the Lacy Cowl will be done out of my Goosey Fibers. So that'll be really, really cool. So I am participating in Vlogmas today and the rest of the month. So we have a couple of calendars that we're opening. I'm opening 3 advent calendars because I went a little crazy at the advent calendars this year. And then Nora is opening 2 advent calendars. All of that will be explained in the Vlogmas updates. And yeah, so those 3 are needle adjacent projects along with the hat. And then I actually have some yarn caked up for my Metropolis that I've been dying to knit. Metropolis is a bulky weight sweater. However, the dyer, which is Tennis Fiber Arts, let me double check that. Let me double check that. Metropolis. is Tanis Fiber Arts. She recently posted a marled version that she did. Instead of doing bulky weight, she held 3 strands of fingering weight together with a strand of mohair. And as you can see from that, she actually took off the cowl neck, because the original, the original is this with a big, nice, floofy cowl, and then her version, her marled version, does not have the cowl neck. So I'm going to be doing this version because I was unable to find a bulky weight yarn that I was really, really liking. So I did have several skeins of yarn that I was really, really loving. I didn't have quite enough of what I wanted to use for the sweater. However, I did find some really good matches at the Maryland Alpaca Fiber Festival 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so 2 of my favorite dyers were there. One of them was the Tempting You, which she is local to me. She actually is the owner of Clover Hill Yarn Shop in Catonsville, Maryland, but she also dyes yarn. So this is her yarn line, Tempting You. And this is her mohair base, and it is You So Heavenly. That's the name of her base. In peacock blue, it is 72% kid mohair and 28% silk. It is 459 yards per 50 grams. I only need 800 yards, so I have 2 of them. I'm only showing you one, obviously, but I have 2 of them. They're both caked up and ready to go. And then I'm going to use some stash. So this is my this is my Hedgehog Fibers Silky Singles. That's hard to say. And this is in their kimono colorway. And I have been wanting to use this for a while and just had not found the perfect pattern. So I'm going to use this as one of the 3 strands that I am using. So I'm going to hold 2 strands together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1 strand of this, 2 strands of another color, and 1 strand of the mohair. And then I'll switch to 2 strands of this, 1 strand of the other color and the mohair, and then I'll switch to 3 strands of this, no strands of the other color, and then 1 strand of the mohair. So that's the plan. I'm hoping that it comes to fruition because I only have 3 skeins of this. So we'll see. We'll see. My second color is this gorgeous blue. Let me show you these all together. Yeah. Isn't that pretty? So in this blue, I can't really wiggle my finger. This blue here, the solid blue, is from the Fiberists. I love these guys. This is their Audubon Unum Fingering. It's 100% superwash. The color is Lapis Lazuli, mainly Lapis Lazuli. And let me see if I can get this to focus, because they put all of, there you go, they put all the scientific names for everything on theirs, which I think is really cool. And again, it is the 100% superwash merino, and it is 434 yards on 113 grams. Ooh, not paying attention, and I'm all out of focus. There we go. Cool, cool, cool. So that's all going to be the Metropolis. And then, of course, I want to knit the pullover version of Le Pouf, but I do not have that caked up yet. And I'm going to wait until I get through my adventure or my Advent calendar projects before I do that. And I am going to actually finish them. And I know you're saying, but Melissa, 2 of them were cowls, and you have already decided you don't like cowls. And you're right, I don't. But a lot of the Advent things out there, I'm gonna have to pause. Recorder's cutting me off. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right. And we're back. So a lot of the Advent calendar patterns out there are for things that I'm not going to wear. That is what it is. I'm a very minor person in the knitting world that, not minor, I guess I'm one of the few. I'm in the minority of people who don't like shawls or scarves or cowls or anything like that. I absolutely see the use for them, and I am going to make a effort to wear the ones that I am knitting. But, you know, that's what it is. That's why one of them is a blanket. But I also didn't want to do 3 blankets. I may honestly get through like 5 days and decide that, yeah, those cowls are not for me, and I may rip them back and just go ahead and do a granny stripe blanket again. Who knows? We'll find out. But one of them is a blanket, so that's at least nice. And yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to Vlogmas. I've got a little bit of footage already because our area, thanks to Thanksgiving being later in the year, we've already done a lot of Christmas activities. So last night we did a lighted boat parade, so I'll be showing some of that on the Vlogmas for the first day. And we've got a whole bunch of little Christmas activities planned, and Nora's got her advents, and I've got my advents, and I've got the little Christmas scene that I'm building, and I've got plenty of advent calendar knitting to do, and you guys will get to see us decorate the tree, and maybe bake some Christmas cookies, and let's see what else. We're going to go to a couple different light events. We have the Washington Zoo down near us. It's about an hour drive from where we are. And they do zoo lights through December. So they leave the park open late. They usually close at dusk. And they're going to leave the park open until I think it's about 9 o'clock, Monday through Sunday. They are open every day of the week. They are open every day of the year except for Christmas Day. So we're going to go down there and do that. They do reserved parking now, which is awesome. A lot of people don't know that, so I always sneak online and get a parking space. And it costs a few dollars more than when you park down there without the reserved parking, but let me just tell you, being able to pull into that parking lot and go to the lot that you're supposed to be parked in and be like, "Lot's full, ma'am," and you go, "I have a reservation," and they open the gate right up. It's glorious. It's definitely worth a few extra bucks. Trust me, DC parking is not fun, especially in that area because it's all residential. The zoo's actually in like a very, very residential area. And so all the parking is street parking or it's permitted parking, and it's really hard to find parking if you don't get the zoo lot. So, and the zoo lot is very limited. So you either get there really, really early, or, as I found out recently, you reserve a spot, which is nice. And you can reserve it for the time that you're going to be there, so you don't have to like get the whole day. You can just be like, "Oh, I'm just coming for zoo lights, so I'm going to reserve it for this time to this time," and that'll be cool. So, and we're going to do a few drive-through lighting areas. We have a couple in our area. We have Sandy Point Park, which does one. We have one in Columbia that does one. We may go over to, I think there's a Delaware one that's really nice where you can also get out and walk around. We are going on a train ride next weekend. That's going to be super fun. That's our first time doing a train ride. And I'm trying to think what else. We have a Christmas tree lighting in our neighborhood this week. We have a neighborhood, we have the community, our little town does a Christmas tree lighting that we'll be doing. We have a couple of Christmas markets that we'll be going to. So it's amazing because I didn't think that my little town had so many Christmas things, but they really do. It's amazing what you find when you look for them. So yeah, super excited about Vlogmas. And I see some of my favorite podcasters have already put up their first days because most of them are in the UK, so their day is already almost over. So I get to be almost a full day ahead, sort of, watching Vlogmas, which is nice. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, no, I'm not. My daughter has a finished project she wants to show you. So let me pause and go get that finished project for you so that she can show off her finished work for you guys. We'll be right back. Hi, Nora.
Hi.
You want to show off your finished object?
I made this, but she did the eyes and the nose.
Yeah, because they were super tiny.
So tiny. But the extras I made into a little skein of yarn, into a little ball.
She did. She wound up all the extra thread into
Like,
a little tiny
and then
ball
you have
of
a
yarn.
little ball, right? And then you can just knit stuff. You can knit something, just something that's super miniature and tiny with that little skein.
So this is her little stitched
ball.
llama. So she did the bottom part. She did the scarf and the nose and the ears. And I did a little bit of this part here.
Because I was having trouble on the first. But look at the back.
The first time. Yeah, and the back's actually pretty decent too for her first time doing embroidery. And this won't be her last. Nora has decided she really likes stitching, and so she wants to do a few more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we may have a little Nora's finished object part of the podcast going forward, maybe. And she did help with the hat too. She helped crank that out, so she may do some hats too, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you like your hat?
Yes.
Because you like the fuzzy pom-pom? She loves the fuzzy pom-pom.
It's a bunny pom-pom.
All right. What do we say at the end of a podcast?
Bye-bye.
And
Don't forget to subscribe. Leave the comments down below. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, and comment bunny rabbit if you like this hat.
Bye, guys.
And unicorn for rainbows, because I love rainbows. Bye-bye.